Welcome in everyone to the Larsonland podcast. I'm your host, Sawyer Hill, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Dylan Bradshaw. We come on here every single Wednesday and talk about all things involving the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion, Young Money Kyle Larson. Dylan, we saw some more tire issues this weekend at the Texas Motor Speedway there for the All-Star race. Kyle Larson ended up finishing dead last, 24th. I know everybody else's thoughts on the race, but what were yours?
Yeah, we had yet another week of tire problems in the All-Star race, and I don't know. At this point, I'd say everyone is just tired of it. The 18-inch wheel has just been nothing but a problem in these Gen 7s, and I mean, you could say it's the teams not preparing well enough, and the air pressure teams put in is the reason for failure, but I don't know. I think it's just happening too much, and we're kind of to the point where NASCAR and Goodyear need to just take a step back to the drawing board and try and make a change. And I don't know. It just seems like, are they gonna wait until a driver could get seriously injured until they address it? And I don't know. It just became way too common. And in some cases, not only the tire, it's the single lug giving problems. And I just think they're pushing the blame on the teams and instead of addressing the issue.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, and I know everybody's kind of been really harsh on the tire issues, and been big on complaining about it. But I mean, I think the biggest thing. I mean, I saw somebody on Facebook the other night and just talking about it, and I think really we've taken for granted a little bit the safety advances that we've seen in NASCAR over the years. I mean, that was a hard hit that Kyle Larson took there in the All Star race. One that back in the day, that's one where you could face potentially serious injuries, but luckily Kyle was okay and walked away from that one and goes on to race this weekend at the Coke 600.
Yeah, we're preparing for Charlotte this week in the 600-mile event, and kind of going back to that, drivers can't even run more than 40 to 50 laps without having a blown tire. So we obviously saw that in Larson, like you mentioned, that blew the tire, ultimately put him out of the race on lap 36, and then we saw that big crash with Kyle Busch on lap 47, and led to that huge crash that left Chastain flying through the air and Elliott into the wall. So stage two wasn't even completed, and till we already had two blown tires that resulted in a big wreck. So yeah, just tough break for Larson. Larson was really fast. He logged the third fastest lap in the entire race, and that was only after completing 35 laps. So if that blown tire situation didn't happen, I really think he did have a winning car on Sunday.
So obviously Larson didn't pick up the win this past weekend at the All-Star race, but it was Ryan Blaney taking home the $1 million check at the end of the night there. Not without controversy, however. The window net issue at the end of the race, totally bizarre. I've never seen anything like it in all my years of watching NASCAR. Honestly, I think NASCAR just completely dropped the ball here in this race, just across the board. Tires were a big issue. There was, late race controversy. Hamlin was mad after the race due to the ruling that NASCAR had. And I mean, at the end of the day, I think that they could have solved this very easily. They should not have changed the rules for the All Star race. Every single race we run all year long, if the caution flag flies on the white flag lap, then the race is over at that point. And changing the rules for that one race is very confusing for all the drivers and even the fans watching. I don't think the All Star race needs to be so different from what we see on a normal basis. I think it needs to just be a shorter race that lets guys leave it all out on the table. Push all of their chips in. Doesn't need to be this elaborate format.
Yeah, definitely an insane situation there at the end with Blaney. He was what 10 foot away from crossing the line, and Stenhouse just hit the wall and they threw it out. So yeah, we got some complaining from Hamlin, which if anyone else was in a situation, I'm sure they'd be complaining. But at the end of the day, I think it's NASCAR's fault for even throwing that. I think it's ridiculous. But as far as the race, we're not even seeing good racing anymore. We like to refer back to those Jeff Gluck polls because there's thousands of people that participate weekly and chime in, give their feedback about the race. So I'm going to go ahead and read the stats off of that. So 33,812 people submitted yes or no in regards to the 2022 All-Star race being a good race, and only 11% answered yes. That ranks it number 239 out of 239 races polled, and it was the second most voted race out of the 239 races polled. And only the 2016 Brickyard 400 is the next poorly rated race at 17%. So, I mean, obviously the public did not enjoy this race. I didn't enjoy this race. I'm sure you didn't either. I mean, it was just terrible. Just starting from practice qualifying format, like with the pit stops, that was a mess. With Almirola, we obviously saw Larson stall there. They had that 10-second countdown, wasn't quite 10 seconds. Everything was just a mess, just terrible format, and I hope we never see it again.
I have to agree with you there. I think NASCAR can do a lot better job, and the All Star race shouldn't be the worst race of the season. It honestly, in my opinion, should be one of the best. But kind of shifting away from races that we didn't like watching. Let's talk about some races this past week that were actually some good ones. Kyle Larson raced two nights with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars this past week. He picked up a second place finish at Bridgeport. I was there in attendance for that one. And then he moved on to Friday night there at the Attica Raceway Park in Ohio and picked up the big win there. Dylan, I mean, it's every time that Kyle gets in this 410 sprint car, he is just a force to be reckoned with. I thought I was going to witness a win there at Bridgeport, but just oh so close to Sheldon Haudenschild there in the final laps.
Yeah, as far as Bridgeport, I thought Larson had it there with less than 10 to go. He was batting with Haudenschild consistently, but it kind of seemed like he was pulling away a little bit between lap traffic. But then we saw that Casey Kane caution set up the restart, and Kyle was fast off of it. But coming out of turn two, he surprisingly stayed low, which I thought he would for sure take high, but set up Haudenschild for a big run on the top, and it was pretty much gone from there. Haudenschild kept the lead with 2 or 3 laps, and just a tough break for Larson. I thought he had that one. I was cheering for you to see, your first Larson win in person. For everyone that hasn't seen already, Sawyer took a Bridgeport vlog, so go ahead and check that out on our channel if you haven't seen already. But yeah, just a tough one there for Larson at Bridgeport.
Definitely a tough one there for Larson at Bridgeport, but he was able to bounce back on Friday night at Attica, as I spoke on earlier. He picked up the big win there. He led every single one of the 40 laps in that race. Just a total dominant performance there. He started second, took the lead on the first lap, and really just didn't look back. It was definitely caution filled, but he managed the restarts very well. And Carson Macedo finished second, but man, he really just couldn't keep pace with Larson, even when they got in lap traffic.
Yeah, Larson started the day in Attica well. He qualified decent, set him up to start third in Heat 4, and finished second in his heat. He set him up for the dash where he drew fifth, and he was putting on some crazy moves there in the dash. I saw those replays, and finished second in the dash, which put him second in the feature. And from there was pretty much, as you said, the Kyle Larson show. He took the lead early, battled with Macedo, but even after the caution fest, Larson held his own and he picked up the victory in Attica. And I believe that was his 26th World of Outlaws win. So big win for Larson. Good bounce back after Bridgeport, like we've said, and just love seeing him in that sprint car. I hope he races it way more this year.
And I think we are going to see a big stretch of sprint car races as we get into the summer here. We have PA Sprint Week, and obviously we always expect Kyle to run the Kings Royal and back up his win there at Eldora. And then later on in I think in August, the Knoxville Nationals. Kyle Larson, obviously the defending winner of that event as well. But last little bit on the sprint car stuff. Huge tip of the hat to the track prep crew there at the Bridgeport Speedway. They did a great job getting the track ready for that feature event on last Tuesday night. I know there was a lot of drivers complaining about the track early on in the night throughout hot laps, heat races, qualifying, everything, the tire issues, but they spent a lot of time before the feature getting the track ready, and I think it really paid off. Good event there at Bridgeport. Like I said, obviously wish that Kyle could have picked up the win there, but I think maybe we'll get to see Kyle win in PA Sprint Week.
Yeah, definitely can't wait for that sprint week to attend. And kind of shifting gears a bit, we're going to go ahead and cover the Charlotte info for this coming week in NASCAR. So about a little about Charlotte. So Larson will be rocking the amazing patriotic scheme that we all saw that was debuted last week, and that was made to honor veterans and service members. Army Specialist Rel Allen Ravigo IV will be displayed on the windshield of the number 5 car to honor his memory as part of NASCAR's Remembrance Program for the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte for Memorial Day weekend. Going to go ahead and cover some stats here. Larson at Charlotte has 12 starts, 347 laps led, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s. His average start is 20.4. His average finish is 17.4. He has 3 DNFs, and he picked up that win last year, and he led 327 of his total 347 laps led at Charlotte last year in his Coca-Cola 600 win, and that kind of started his 2021 win streak with his win there, his Sonoma win, an All-Star win, and then his Nashville win. So hoping to see that, his another Coca-Cola 600 win and start a little streak going so we can get hot as we go towards the middle part of the year.
Yeah, I always look forward to the Coke 600. Obviously, the longest race on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Um, Kyle Larson has always had a knock throughout his career. People have always said that he's not able to compete in the longer races just because of his dirt background. Shorter races are kind of, people say, his thing, but Kyle Larson proved that wrong last season, picking up the Coke 600 win, and hopefully he can back it up again this year. I think he's going to have a good shot at it. The Hendrick cars have been very fast. Even at Texas, they were fast, but just bad luck there for Chase and for Kyle. So I think these mile and a halves are the bread and butter for the HendrickCars.com number 5 team, and hopefully they can get their feet back on the ground this week after facing a tough one there last weekend at the All-Star Race.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. These mile and a halves are usually always good, barring a tire situation. It seems these tires at these mile and a half seem to be really messing up. But another thing about Charlotte, I'm going to go ahead and cover this. The two Kyles, and Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch, are the favorites to win going into the 2022 Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. And they both have a 550 chance to win, which means if you bet $100 on Larson, you would win 550.
All right, so kind of just looking ahead to some dirt stuff that could potentially be on the schedule for Kyle Larson this week. Obviously, right now, as we're recording this podcast, the first night of the Millbridge Speedway Extreme Outlaw Midget Series racing is going on. Kyle Larson's running double duty in that tonight on Tuesday night and tomorrow night, Wednesday night, there at the Millbridge Speedway in the micro and in the midget. Looking good so far tonight, but as far as the end of the week goes, only 2 races that kind of could be potential ones that we could see Kyle Larson at. Maybe the All-Star Circuit of Champions $10,000 to win race there at the Williams Grove Speedway in Pennsylvania. And then the other one, maybe also on that Friday night, would be at the Atomic Speedway for the Fast Sprint Car Series there in Ohio. I think Larson is the defending winner of that event. Big $20,000 to win race. I'm pretty sure that's what the payout is. So maybe we'll see Larson at one of those 2, or maybe he'll just take the rest of the week off heading into the Coke 600. But if you want to stay up to date on all that information, just follow along on our social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can find us at Larsonland.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Larson some dirt, some dirt. Kind of tired of NASCAR lately with all these different situations. So hope to see some quality racing here with Kyle in some dirt races. So hoping to see him, as I said earlier, in some more sprint cars, and hopefully get back in this late model soon, and continue some domination on the track there.
Yep, and also, we haven't seen Kyle Larson in the midget since the Chili Bowl, so this is going to be interesting to see how he does hopping right into the seat of that middle of the season, or kind of close to the middle of the season here at the Millbridge Speedway. So stay tuned on Larsonland for all the results as far as things go at Millbridge. Dylan, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Now that should cover it. Just hoping for no blown tires this week at Charlotte, and hopefully these tires can last more than 40 to 50 laps.
Yeah, I think the bad luck's out the window now. I think we're done. I think that was the last of it. I'm calling it right here. on this podcast. Kyle Larson's bad luck is done in 2022. The rest of the season is going to be tremendous in NASCAR and all of his racing. So, as far as the schedule goes for Charlotte this weekend, on Saturday, May 28th, practice with the NASCAR Cup Series will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1, and then qualifying will follow immediately after that at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1 as well. And then on Sunday, May 29th, following the big Indianapolis 500, which I will be in attendance for there in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Coke 600 will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Looking forward to that one after I get back from the track. Going to be having a on-location video from Indianapolis for my first Indianapolis 500 as well. I know Kyle Larson's not going to be there. Maybe next year we'll see Kyle Larson. I know he's hinted at it. Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon have hinted at it as well. So maybe we'll see Kyle Larson in that Indy 500. I would love to see what Kyle could do there, but I'm going to be there cheering on Jimmy Johnson in that number 48 car for his first 500. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in and listening to the show. As always, check out the links in our description for some awesome Kyle Larson Facebook groups. We'll be back again next Wednesday to recap this weekend's race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, as well as all of the dirt racing on Kyle's schedule. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please follow our podcast so you don't miss a thing. Have a great rest of the week, everyone, and enjoy the on-track action over the next week. We will see you in the next episode.